Welcome to another episode of Project Renegade. In this episode, we're going to install another GlowShift gauge. In this episode, we're going to install an oil pressure gauge, and this goes right along with the oil filter sandwich plate, just like that and this. They were both sent to us by GlowShift. So we're going to get moving right along, and we're going to get this installed. Here's a closer look at the box that the gauge comes in. Here's our gauge. You have your wiring harness. You get a little shield here that you can install on your gauge if you want to kind of block some of the sun. As for the wiring, if we start over here, you have your yellow, which is a 12 volt positive constant, so you want this to have power all the time. Then you have your red. You want this 12 volt positive, but you want this one switched with the ignition so that tells your gauge to come on when you start the vehicle. Black, which is a ground. Orange, this is an optional wire. What this will do, it will cause the gauge to dim by 30% when you put 12 volts to it. So what you do is you hook this to something that comes on with your headlights, not your dimmer, because if you use your dimmer, it'll make it flicker. And your green, which I've started calling the function wire, but in this application, it goes to one of the posts on the oil pressure sensor, which is the post that is marked G. I've already got the sensor installed, so I can throw in a clip here and show you, but just to show you on the instructions. You can see that I've got my wire ran for the sensor up from the sensor underneath the hood. Now we just need to pass our wires through the firewall. Okay, we're in the Jeep with the dash tore apart again. Well, I should say as always instead of again, because I've always got the dash tore apart in this thing. All the wiring is just sitting here loose. The gauge is just sitting up there. And all the wires ran over to the fuse box, just like we did with the vacuum gauge. But in addition to all of your standard wiring, your yellow for constant power, your red for switched power, your orange for a headlight source to dim the gauge, your black for a ground, that you have the green, which goes to the sensor that is in the oil filter sandwich adapter, and that wire goes to the post that has a G on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire this up and see how the gauge works. It seems to be quite the oil pressure. I mean, it's good oil pressure. I mean, it's fairly high, but that's above 40 pounds of oil pressure at idle. I honestly do not know what the 3.7 is supposed to run, but for some reason in my head I'm thinking that 40 pounds is a little more than it's supposed to at an idle, and it seems to fluctuate quite a bit. Okay, yeah, you give it gas, and I didn't give it that much, and it well over 80, almost 90 pounds. I think we've got something going on here that just, to me, seems a little excessive, but I could be wrong. But the gauge does work. Let's try the headlights. You can see that the gauge dims. Very active for an oil pressure gauge. But like in the other video for the vacuum gauge, this is temporary until I figure out where exactly everything is going to mount. And just like the other gauge, it goes dark. So that's it for another episode of Project Renegade. Thanks for checking out the video. A huge thanks to GlowShift for sending out all of the products. So make sure to use the link down in the description. That helps us both out. That actually allows them to see that you guys are coming from the videos over there to their site. So that would help out a lot. Make sure to check out the Rocky X TV Facebook and Patreon pages. So if you came across this video and you're not one of my subscribers or you're new to the channel, make sure to go into my channel and check out a couple other videos. I've got all kinds of different videos and a bunch of different playlists and stuff. I'm pretty sure you'll find something in there that you like. So if you find a video that you like, hit the like button. If you have something to say, leave it down in the comments. And if you find a couple videos that you like, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.